Have you ever thought about why some players seem to be so good at the game? It's not enough to hit hard, you also need to hit smart. Hello, and welcome to the secret world of attack placement, where every shot is more than just a hit. This guide goes into great detail about how to carefully place your attacks. There are technical differences between good and great table tennis players. We'll show you how to do everything from breaking down the corners to using the power of precision. Discover the game-changing strategy that will take your tax placement to the next level and increase your chances of success. Simply by utilizing this top-secret sauce, you will be able to take your game to the next level. And guess what? This is a work that can be completed by everyone, regardless of their level of expertise. Your playing style is irrelevant to this technique, regardless of whether you are a beginner or an experienced player, whether you favor topspin or backspin, or any combination of the two. In order to throw your opponents into a maelstrom of trouble, it is important to arrange your attack in such a way that it strategically places it on the table. You will surely be able to swing the scales in your favor if you are able to master this strategy, which will ensure that you secure more points and victories on the table. Are you ready to completely change the way you play and leave your competitors in a state of confusion? Let us go into the power of strategically placing taxes on your income. Buckets. Let us suppose that the table is your strategic battleground, and you will note that there are two distinct zones spread out in front of you. Let us also imagine that you are the enemy. It is suggested that we refer to these areas as the buckets. Putting your attention on these particular aspects will allow you to improve your table tennis skills. Imagine this. You want to minimize the amount of times that your attacks are thrown into these bucket zones as much as possible. And you inquire, why is that? Because these territory areas are your opponent's playground for simple returns. This is the primary reason why you should avoid them. Who is the one striking there? This is the same as giving your opponent the perfect conditions for a swift and devastating counterattack. Which is the equal as supplying those conditions. Take every precaution you can think of in order to avoid getting into contact with those buckets. I was curious as to whether or if you could look into the reasoning behind things like this. This is the time at which your opponent is able to effortlessly position themselves to return your strikes without exerting any effort on their part. To put it another way, this is the point at which they are able to counterattack. When the ball bounces up into their hitting zone in a comfortable manner, they are faced with the ideal opportunity to perform a good block or a lethal counterattack. This presents them with the optimal set of circumstances. As a result, they are presented with the best possible opportunity. It is because of this that they are given the opportunity of a lifetime. On the other hand, here's the thing that will change everything. The magic happens when you focus your strikes away from these alluring buckets. When this happens, the game begins to come to life. Due to the fact that your shots are becoming more difficult to return than they were before, your opponent is being pushed to venture outside of their realm of comfort. Take the following example into consideration. Because of the chaos that your attacks produce, it is more challenging for your opponent to set up the proper block or counterattack. Therefore, it is important to bear in mind this golden rule. If you avoid the buckets, you will notice that your strikes become more powerful, causing your opponent to scurry and struggle to anticipate your next move. We need to reevaluate your strategy and make certain that those buckets are not on your list of things to complete. Deep or wide, allow me to introduce you to the bucket zone once again. At this point, these locations are a heaven for the enemy. This is the equivalent of putting out the red carpet for them. You put the ball into certain locations, and all of a sudden, your opponent is relaxed. They are barely moving and getting ready to smash the ball. It's not right for you. In this case, we have a strategy. Either think more deeply or more broadly. Consider the following scenario. The tape has been moved, and now it is necessary to shoot beyond the line, well beyond those buckets. When you throw that ball to a great distance, it will land right there. Your adversary is attempting to get back on their feet, and once they are cleared off the table, it is your moment to shine. More room, more views, and more opportunities are available. On the other hand, you could hit it wide, which would be out here or there. Watch as your adversary makes a dash. The fact that they are moving and hitting makes it a difficult situation. When they are trying to play catch-up, they are forced out of their comfort zone. It is difficult for them to provide a great return. Let's move on to the most important point. Insist that they get moving. During the time that they are frantically trying to figure out what to do, you are in a position to claim victory in the game. Either their return will not be sufficient, or they will entirely miss it. Both of these possibilities are probable. To what end? Because of their tendency to extend, they wind up becoming imbalanced, which in turn causes a considerable decline in the quality of their shots. As a result, this is the most important point. Avoid those buckets, aim deeper or wider, and keep an eye out for the magic to unfold. Now is your time to make the move. Vary attack positions. Welcome to the masterclass in elevating your table tennis game. Picture this. You're the conductor, and your attacks are the symphony. Now, to create a masterpiece, you need variety, a repertoire that leaves your opponent guessing with every stroke. The name of the game is diversity. Sure, sending that ball deep might be a power move, but if it's landing predictably in the same spot, your opponent's going to catch on quicker than you can say spin. That's where the magic happens. You've got to mix it up, surprise them, keep them guessing. Imagine the thrill of aiming your attacks to different locations each time. Left, right, deep, shallow. It's like playing a mind game, keeping your opponent on their toes, trying to anticipate where your next shot will land. And it's not just about landing the ball, it's about strategic chaos. By changing up your attack positions, you're throwing your opponent into a spin cycle of uncertainty. They would not know what hit them. Quite literally, it's about keeping them guessing, creating that air of unpredictability that leaves them scrambling to keep up. Visualize this. Your shots becoming a dynamic dance across the table, swerving here and darting there, creating a game that's as unpredictable as it is electrifying. Welcome to the world where attacking isn't just a move, it's an exploration of uncharted territories. Imagine the thrill of aiming at those elusive corners, the sweet spots that leave your opponent scratching their head in bewilderment. These spots, like the corner and the sly crossover point, they're your secret weapons. Hitting there makes your opponent twist and turn like a contortionist, desperately trying to keep up with your unpredictable barrage. And why's this so effective? Simple. Your opponent won't know what's coming next. Imagine their frustration trying to guess your next move. It's like playing a chess match on the table, keeping them on their toes and off balance. Confusion in their ranks means victory in yours. Let's sum it up. Firstly, dodge those buckets. Instead, aim for those edges, those lines. Secondly, be a shapeshifter. Switch positions with every strike. It's a bit of a skill to consistently aim closer to those edges, but practice makes perfect. Mastering this art puts your opponent in the hot seat, making every move count. It's not just a skill to master attack location, it changes the game. As you work to get better at table tennis, keep in mind that where you hit the ball is sometimes more important than how hard you hit it. So, go ahead and practice, try new things, and use strategic accuracy to surprise your opponents. Just keep shooting for those tricky corners, and you'll be one step ahead on the table in no time. This is the end for today, but make sure to subscribe and press the notification bell so that you can be the first one to watch our videos.